Welcome to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast, powered by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined, with your host, the one and only Betsy Tinnervin. On this podcast, we bring you people who share their personal journeys in life, business, and of course, real estate. Get motivated, inspired, and priceless information from entrepreneurs, community leaders, and realtors who are thriving. Now let's get raw and real. Here's Betsy.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinnervin with Tampa Bay Investments, and I have two phenomenal people here today that you are not going to want to miss. So if you're a normal listener, this is an exclusive interview with another top Tampa Bay team lead, Daniel Perez with the Tampa Bay team. How are you, Daniel?
Hey, Betsy, I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome. And Daniel has a special guest today, his number one lender that he partners with his team on, Miss Heidi Lombardi.
Hi, Betsy. Thanks for having me.
Did I say your name right, Heidi?
You did. That was perfect.
Awesome.
It's like Ben's.
Yeah.
It's a winner name.
I mean, but you stand out, right?
Yeah.
You're not a normal Heidi.
No,
Exactly.
definitely not. There's not many of us, but.
And
but
Heidi,
I'm not
what's the name of your company?
Sure. So I work with Pioneer Mortgage Funding. We're a wholesale broker here in the Tampa area.
Awesome. And how long have you been doing that?
I've been licensed about 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And you enjoy working with Mr. Perez and his team.
Oh, yeah. Daniel and his team are great. We have the same buyer forward approach and putting our clients first. And so it's great to work with realtors who have the same mentality as my team. So
well, we can't wait to deeper dive into what you guys do, but I definitely want to start with you, Daniel, because as we all know, I think that there's a huge misconception on competition amongst realtors and realtor teams in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm all about collaborating. I'm all about helping other agents. So I don't have that mindset. I like working with people and I like working with other realtors. So I'm all about helping others.
Yeah. And I think what's really cool is that you and I are both with LPT, which is the number one fastest growing brokerage now, almost in. Well, we should hit some Guinness Book of World Record stats, but you and I talk a lot about what we're doing with our team. How can we make our agents successful? You know, what are we going to do tech wise? And so I really want you to talk about being a team lead and why you think it's important for agents that are getting into this industry to join a team.
So I think when you get started as a new agent, I mean, real estate is difficult as it is. And when you try to do it on your own, it's 10 times harder. You know,
100%.
Yeah. So I think joining the team, you're going to need some guidance. You're going to need some help. You're going to need a lot of things when you're brand new. And I remember I started as a new agent and I joined a company which 100% commission. And in one of those, you're 100% commission, but you're 100% on your own too, and it's hard.
Yeah.
As a new agent, you don't have the experience, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the connections, the partners like, lenders, inspectors. So you need to know, you need somebody to guide you through at least your first year of real estate. So
for sure.
To me, if I could go back in time, I would have joined a team from the get-go because it makes things easier for you. Yeah, you're going to have to probably pay a split, but you're brand new, you're learning, you got to learn. At the beginning, it's so overwhelming and you don't know anything. You need help.
100%. And I think also what you guys are doing that is phenomenal that I think because you sound cooler than me because you can speak Spanish. so
Un poquito.
Yeah, exactly. So at the end of the day, I think what's really cool is being in Florida, being bilingual is just, it's a must. And, it's been a goal of mine to actually learn, but I think that it's cool that you bring the cultural aspect to it in real life. And I think for any Spanish speaking agents out there, you're able to translate and teach in like the language that they know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's about comfort too. People rather learn and talk and do business in their own language. Is something
1,000%.
So if most of my team agents are bilingual, Spanish speaking too, And I just think, it's important for you to, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if you speak Spanish or not. I'm still willing to help you.
Right.
But they probably feel comfortable with a team leader that speaks their
Spanish
language and can help them in English or Spanish. You know
Any realtors that want to join a team, do not call me if you speak Spanish. Call Daniel Perez. I agree, Daniel. I think that it is really important, whether you're working with a buyer or you're working with an agent or even a seller, that if their primary language is Spanish, that they work with someone like you and your team, because you can honestly help them and they're comfortable and they understand. And then there's not ever that lingering kind of elephant in the room of, were they explained or were things clear, especially when it comes to the documents.
Yeah, no, and we're dealing with legal contracts. We're
Absolutely
dealing with people's lives and livelihoods, and we don't want to make a mistake and then somebody can't close on time and they gave up their home that they had because they were planning to move, and then they can't close. So we got to make sure that everybody understands what they're doing and everything's done the right way.
And how long have you been running your team in Tampa?
So I started in real estate back in January of 2016. That's when I first got licensed, and I started working with Heidi that same year.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, but I didn't really start a team till I joined my previous brokerage.
Okay.
Am I allowed to say names?
Okay. You can say whatever you want.
Okay, so I joined eXp Realty about 3 years ago, and that's when I really started, having the mindset of starting a team, because my goal was to become a top producer here in the Tampa area. So I did that. Joining XP, I sold 50 houses my first year. I sold 60 last year. So, to me, if you're going to start a team and you're going to be a team leader, you got to lead by example, and you got to sell.
You don't have, you can't just talk about it. You have to be about it.
You have to walk the walk. So I didn't want to start a team until I was producing at a high level. Because to me, that's what's going to attract people to you. When they see you selling, when they see you closing deals left and right, that's going to attract people to you. And that's how I did it. I didn't really go out and recruiting people. I kind of let my sales and my success bring the people to me.
Perfect. And then obviously we're going to get in depth for all you listeners and probably segment 2 with Heidi and how you guys collaborate with that. So you got into real estate, then you started a team, and where is your office located?
We're in Tampa, 6735 Causeway Boulevard in Tampa, kind of in between Ybor City and Brandon.
So you have agents kind of spread out.
I do. I mean, we have a big team. We have over 60 agents, but the office is the home base where we all go work out of most of the week. So I typically, if I'm not showing houses to a client, I'm at the office helping agents and doing stuff.
And from what it sounds like, it was a big switch. You built out this kind of organization when you were at the EXP, and now you're with LPT.
I did. I made the switch. It's been like 3 weeks now.
Okay.
It wasn't easy. I didn't think I was gonna leave EXP because for several reasons, but you always got to be open to opportunities. At least I am. And I saw an opportunity, and to me, it makes sense. So I talked to my team and I told them, hey, I'm thinking of doing this. Are you guys on board? And I told them
they were like, let's go.
And they all came.
Yeah.
They all came.
And I think that for everyone out there listening, from me and Daniel's perception, I know I've had these conversations offline with him, the tools and training and marketing that we're given with LPT and what Robert Palmer and his team have put together and allowing us to have the ecosystem like you and Heidi have has really been phenomenal.
Yeah, a lot of tools that I didn't have with my previous company. That was one of the reasons that I decided to make the switch. I got to meet the CEO, Robert Palmer. I asked him a ton of questions, and I kind of felt comfortable with, his answers and himself. And I see his vision, and I saw what he's done before this with, his previous mortgage company, RP Funding. So to me, the opportunity to partner up with somebody like that, it just
phenomenal.
Yeah, I couldn't pass it up.
Yeah. And I know, Heidi, you know about a lot of these tools that are provided now by LPT. How do you feel as a vendor working with now an LPT team, and just how much the tools and stuff being offered has allowed them to excel?
Sure. So, so to kind of touch on a couple of Daniel's points, the team environment to me also is a motivational factor. And I see that with with the LPT team, that they motivate each other, and the tools give them knowledge that helps them grow their business and serve their clients. So both of those are great factors in an agent's success. So to me, sales can be a very lonely job. It can feel very isolated. So when you're with a team and you're collaborating and everybody is enthusiastic, it motivates you to go out and grow your business too. So, so I see that. I'm at Daniel's office quite a bit, and I see that sort of collaborative spirit and enthusiasm they all share, and they motivate each other. And I think that's great. And the LPT tools that they get for free, being a member of LPT, are things that if you're with a discount brokerage,
don't give them all the tricks, Heidi. Don't give them all the tricks.
Okay. But you have to pay for that. You got to pay for that.
We'll hit them with that on segment 2, because if we don't pay the bills with commercials, we'll get fired. Right. Okay. So segment 2, Heidi's going to go into these tools and collaborating with an LPT team and how amazing it is. We will give out their numbers in segment 2, so you're forced to listen. Don't forget to download the iHeartRadio app. And we'll see you after the break.
The best comp plans ever in stock and revenue share, but if we're not closing real estate transactions, all of that is worthless, because ultimately everything starts with a real estate transaction, which starts with a consumer. And so we wanted to arm our agents with the absolute best technology and best marketing tools to do more real estate. And that's, again, I think a big differentiator. I think very few brokerages really sit down and say, how do we provide tools to make sure that our agents can be more productive, sell more real estate, win more listings, win at more listing appointments, help more buyers find that home. And we're very focused on that. And so while we have the best comp plans and the best ways for agents to generate wealth and earn, we also have the best tools, and more importantly, I would say have the best tools to help you be successful in real estate.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Real Estate Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinnervin, with the Tampa Bay Investments team, and I am honored to have another #1 top producing team lead in my presence, Mr. Daniel Perez.
Yes, ma'am.
Who now has shades on in the radio station studio because he is too cool for school friends.
I went live. I want to look cool in my life.
Okay, cool. And then I'm so excited to have this partnership here, because this is just kind of rare in this industry. And I know any realtors listening or, potential consumers listening, that we had a lot of businesses close during COVID. We had a lot of partnerships break up. Everybody really kind of went into this depressed mode. But we have Heidi Lombardi here, and she is your lender that you've actually worked with for the last 7 years, since like 2015, 2016.
She's amazing. That's the reason I only work with her. They say when something's not broken, you don't change it.
Amen.
We've been closing deals since I got licensed back in 2016, and with every person that she qualifies, she closes. So.
Well, that's what we want in a lender, Miss Heidi.
Yes.
We definitely don't want to get pre-qualified and get things under contract and not close.
That's a bummer for everybody. Yeah,
that's a super bummer. Do you have any special loan products, Heidi, that you offer that Daniel's team is super successful with?
Yeah. So we have quite a few. We have, of course, all the traditional loan products like, conventional, FHA, VA, USDA. And since we're wholesale brokers, we get access to really great rates, and we don't charge the fees. So that definitely helps buyers, especially first-time home buyers and things like that maybe are a little tight with qualifying or cash or both. And then we have the no-doc loans. We have things like bank statement loans, investor
I love investments,
loans.
Heidi. Do you see my shirt?
You do love investments.
I love investments. I'm investor friendly.
Yes. Fix and flip loans. We have all those things for investors. So, we have first-time home buyer loans, down payment assistance. So we have a whole suite of products. And usually what I recommend is buyers, talk to me or talk to somebody on my team. And when they do the application, we'll present options. We use a tool called Mortgage Coach that lets them see side-by-side comparison. And I'll make recommendations and answer questions about programs, but ultimately it's up to a buyer, which program fits them best. So we don't tell them what loans to use. We just try to find all the best options. And
if someone wants to contact
guidance.
you personally, Miss Heidi, what is a cell phone number for you?
Sure. Yeah. So my number is 813-363-5953. And you can find me on our website too. It's awesomehomeloans.com.
Awesome Home Loans. I love that. I only talk to awesome people.
Good.
So that's why you're here today.
I like
That's
awesome
our team
people
name,
too.
Team Awesome.
Team Awesome. Team Awesome. So with that being said, I really want you to tell everybody out there, because we get a lot of realtors that listen to this show and they may be interested in LPT.
Sure.
I'm assuming, since we talked earlier about Daniel's team really being bilingual and tapping into that community and really providing them 100% service in that area, that you have bilingual LOs.
Yes.
Okay.
So I have loan partners and they are bilingual as well. I am not bilingual, I shouldn't say as
I
well.
know,
Heidi, we need to take the class together.
We should totally do that. It's been on my list for a long time to learn Spanish.
I made her get bilinguals because I was doing all the translating.
Yeah.
And
I can imagine. Imagine.
too much work.
So, that, and, really for me, from a, compliance and service perspective, I prefer to keep the realtors in their lane and keep me in my lane. It just makes things a little cleaner, and then they're not getting in the middle of, any loan related items. So
it's like what you guys
worked
talked
out
about
well.
earlier.
Yeah.
Which is you want to provide 100% service, and like
Right.
Daniel went into kind of the legality stuff. Really do want to provide people with people to work with that they're comfortable with.
Absolutely.
And honestly, realtors have come to me, and I'm so glad to kind of have this partnership with Daniel now, because if they're a Spanish speaking realtor, I would love to take them on my team, but I can't train them the way that Daniel can. Even with buyers, if you don't have someone on your team that is Spanish speaking, you really need to place buyers and investors that are fully Spanish speaking with an agent that speaks their language to go through those things. So I'm ecstatic to have gotten to know Daniel and kind of work with him. It's crazy. This town is huge.
It is.
So it's weird because it's not like in the real estate world, we're just walking around and we meet each other. So I've been overjoyed to have these conversations with him, but I kind of want to talk about you guys' partnership. And from your perception, Heidi, why does it make a transaction smoother? Why does it make even training the realtors better because of how you and Daniel work together cohesively?
Sure. So, so I think that, again, with having a client focused approach or a buyer centric approach on my side, Daniel obviously services sellers and buyers. I don't typically get involved with sellers unless they're also buying. So I'm mostly talking on the buy side. So, so we both have the same goal in mind, which is to provide that client with an exceptional experience. So when we are on the same page about service levels and communication, it prevents the client from having any poor experience. So if he recommends me to a buyer and I don't do a good job, that reflects poorly upon Daniel.
And it's tough for us, man.
Yes. And if a client talks to me and I'm working with Daniel and he doesn't provide good service, that reflects poorly upon me. So I think for me, I'm very selective about the realtor partners I work with, and I'll only work with people who are on the same wavelength as me.
I love
with
hearing
that kind of stuff.
Because you really don't hear that from lenders, Heidi, that you actually want to select quality people to keep your reputation well. Most lenders are out there just soliciting agent after agent after agent. And then what happens is teams like Daniel's team or like my team, then we get the short end of the stick because they're out, soliciting all these people. So I love that about you and your company, that you're really looking for top quality people. So you can have a limited pool that you work with and give the teams one-on-one attention, and then also give your customers. I mean, we only have a 12-inch plate, right?
Right. Well, and really, I mean, there tends to be sometimes this, I don't want to call it friction, but a little bit of friction between a realtor and a lender, and finger pointing and things like that.
And I don't give us all these docs, Heidi.
Yeah, I know. We're sort of a pain.
You have to give us all these docs, and you ask all these requirements. I mean, what do you expect?
I know. We ask all these questions. I know. We have to know all this stuff. But so for me, it's great to work with people who, again, it's just like positive. There's never any negativity, because real estate can be challenging, lending can be challenging, and if you're on the same page and you're both working towards the same goal with the same, idea of how to get there, which is a positive way, the client will have that experience.
Perfect.
So no finger pointing, there's never any
Yeah.
blaming. We try
For
to,
sure.
if there's
Work
a
through
problem, we approach it together with the client and we work through it. And
I love that.
the end.
We have one right now that is getting a little difficult because clients don't listen to the realtor or the lender.
Yeah.
But we're finding a solution. Like, there's no time to blame nobody.
For sure,
We're working
sure.
together here for the same goal. So we're gonna get it to the closing table.
Well, I heard a little rumor, Mr. Perez, that you just started some hot to trot podcast.
I did.
And again, Heidi, we can't understand. So I'm laying there last night and I'm going through and I see this awesome graphic. So I click it and I'm thinking that Daniel's going to be nice, right? And all the words that are going to come up is a translation. So I'm listening, trying to hear
It's
Daniel.
in Spanish.
It's in Spanish. So talk about that. Who's on the podcast with you and what is it called?
So I've never done a podcast. It wasn't my idea. I just recruited a realtor, Spanish-speaking realtor from the Lakeland area. His name is Michael Cruz. He's amazing in social media. Like, I've been following him for the past 3 years, and I would say, hey, congrats, stuff like that. But we never actually met till I switched to LPT. I reached out to him and I called him and I told him, hey, I made a switch. He was at EXP too. And I told him, hey, I switched to a new company. The first thing he told me, I'm not switching. That's the first thing he told me. And then I told him, hey, don't worry. I'll send you the info. Take a look at it. The next day he calls me, hey,
where do I sign?
I haven't been able to sleep since yesterday. I'm like, all right, I'll send you the contract. And we've been working together, for the past 3-4 weeks. And he does podcasts. That's one thing.
What is it called?
So it's called Realtors on Fire.
Realtors on Fire.
That's the
Okay.
name of the podcast.
And it is in Spanish, which is awesome.
Spanish speaking podcast every Monday at 8 p.m. And you can go on my Facebook and the link is there. And we just do training. We give realtors tips about how to get clients in a changing market. Yesterday we were talking about Facebook, how to be successful with Facebook, how to create a personal brand.
I love that.
And how to brand yourself as a realtor. We're just trying to give value to realtors and help them be successful.
I love that. Well, if someone wants to get a hold of you, Daniel, what's your number?
My number is 813-412-9464. Again, 813-412-9464. Or they can go to my website. It's www.bestrealtorintampa.com.
Ooh, those are fighting words, Daniel. Everybody, don't forget to download the iHeartRadio back and catch us after the break. It is priceless information, friends. See you after the commercial break.
Biggest win, I think, with the dual path and having these two models is that now we become a brokerage for everyone. No matter where you are in your real estate career, what your goals are today, maybe today you're not interested in recruiting or having a team, but then one day you wake up and you are. Well, if you're at the wrong brokerage to do that, you're locked in. Where in our model, we're not holding anyone hostage. We're not tying anyone in. You can move between the different comp plans and have that success and really achieve whatever your definition of success is under one brokerage platform, being LPT.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. We are sponsored by LPT Realty, and I am Betsy Tinnervin, your host. I'm with the Tampa Bay Investments team, and I don't know if you guys missed the first couple of segments, but I am telling you, it is a rewind. It is a repeat. It is a rewind. It is an absorb, especially if you're a realtor out there or you're a potential buyer or seller, because I have Daniel Perez with the Tampa Bay team.
That's right.
I am so honored, honestly, to have you here because I think it's really, really awesome. You're just like a super genuine guy.
I just like to help people.
Yeah, and that whole line, that just sticks to my mind. And then also you brought this phenomenal lady, Miss Heidi Lombardi, who you with, Miss Heidi?
Pioneer Mortgage Funding.
It's just awesome to hear about you guys' partnership over the last 7 years. It's awesome to hear about how you guys truly help people. I love that, put the buyer first, put the client first attitude, Heidi. I think that's critical. I love the factor that you work with exclusive teams and people, because that's really important in giving that customer service. And as a realtor that also runs a team, I just know the support that we need while we're training our agents and working with clients. It's a balance, man. It's hard. So Daniel, I really want to dive into people. We talked about you guys kind of being bilingual, but what you provide realtors that join your team.
I mean, to be honest, we kind of hold their hands, till brand new realtors, we kind of like sit them down, do one-on-one training, contracts, call calling. We do a call calling boot camp class, because to me, that's the hardest thing that a realtor can learn, to call. So if we can teach them that from the get-go.
Yeah.
If I give you a fish, if I give you a client, you're always going to depend on me.
Yeah.
But if I teach you how to fish, you can get your own clients.
100%.
You know what I mean? So I rather do that. I don't want people depending on me. I want them to be 100% sufficient. But really, we just, at the end of the day, it's me and 6 other partners that I have on the team. Can I give them a shout out?
Yeah. You can do whatever your heart desires, friend.
I want to give a shout out to my team, my Tampa Bay team, and my partners, Justin Johnson, Elizabeth Colon, Jay Colon, Michael Gutierrez, Mauricio Cespedes, and Juan Echeverry. They help me hold the fort down. I can't do everything.
For sure.
And we all pitch in to help new agents.
So they're like team leads for you, and then they're like maybe assigned like agents. And
right.
Then,
so
cool.
I kind of like gave, like 5 or 6 agents to each person, and they go to them. They take care of their training. They do one-on-one trainings. They go on showings. If it's a new realtor, we take them out on showings, on the field, so they can see how we do things.
I love that.
We take them to inspections. We take them to appraisals. We hold their hand.
I love that.
Need help at the beginning.
And yeah, I want to give a shout out to Daniel Perez's team leads, because in running a team, guys, those team leads are like the guts. They're the nuts and bolts. They're the super glue that holds everyone together, because when you are trying to train on a one-on-one basis, it's tough.
It is.
And then does Heidi, do you go in and do like some trainings and stuff as well?
Yes.
So I'm at their office usually at least once a week, sometimes more, and I'm there all day, 1 day a week, so that realtors can come and talk to me. And we definitely do I do some program training. They have a lot of different people come in and do trainings. They'll have attorneys come in and talk about real estate contracts and law.
That's awesome.
And so, and they have Zoom trainings with some of the other leaders in LPT that help with the CRM that's provided and things like that. So there's always classes going on in there and people in there learning. So
that's great.
Yeah.
And so basically, why do you think, Daniel, I know we touched a little bit on LPT. What is the feedback you're getting from these agents on your team with these tools that we have with LPT? What's the feedback you're getting?
They're loving the new company, because they give you so many tools. Marketing, like the owner of this company is all about marketing. He has something called the Listing Power Tools Pack, which is to market the listings that realtors put up in the MLS for sale. And you get this free box with 168 pieces of marketing for every listing for free.
I love it.
Who does that?
I know.
Nobody does that.
Every time I have someone on the radio, I go, how much does that cost them? And they go, free 99. And I'm like, no, seriously, it's crazy, isn't it?
I don't even know how they can afford to do that.
What did you think when you first saw the box?
I thought it was amazing, because to be honest, when I do open houses, I print out like 20 MLS sheets, and that's my marketing materials for the day. But they give you a whole box with flyers, door hangers, thank you cards, business cards, anything that you can think of.
What do you think about the coolest thing I think that's in the box is the neighborhood report?
Yes.
When you open that neighborhood report,
yes,
it's like a full brochure, and it tells you where you can eat and the stuff that's in the area.
Close by.
How do you like that?
Yeah. I showed it to somebody, and they were like, oh, that's so cool. So I'm all about marketing and the Listing Power Pack and the CRM that we got, Chime, and there's so many tools that it's like, you can't tell people.
It's like
oh,
we're a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, it's like there's so much stuff that I order my billboard. Have you seen the Welcome to LPT billboard?
I have not seen yours yet, though.
I just activated, I think like 2 days ago, so be on the lookout. My mugshot is coming to a billboard near you.
And how much was the billboard, Daniel?
Free. Everything is free.
You got a free billboard.
Free billboard, free marketing for your listings, free to join the company, free, no monthly fee. Everything's free. What else you want?
I know. And you know what people say all the time, and especially on that show, they're like, Betsy, no, for real. And I'm like, no.
What's the catch? So they're like, what's the catch?
Yeah, I'm like, no, seriously. And I think that to back that up is that Robert has said, and Robert Palmer is the CEO and president of LPT Realty, he has said he doesn't want us to just go recruit. He wants us to recruit and then have agents actually sell real estate.
Right.
And successful. And I think, as a team lead, Daniel and Heidi, working with people as well, that we can have 100 agents on our team, but like 5% of the agents in Tampa really actually sell.
Yep.
Correct.
The 5% of the agents in Tampa Bay, or really any market, are the people that are successful. And then also the failure rate of realtors.
9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's crazy. If you get a real estate license, and we get this a lot in a hot market, right? Oh my God, Daniel, Betsy, real estate must be great. You're making all this money. Yeah. Heidi, you're closing all these loans. And they don't realize that it's 16-hour days, and it's hustle, and it's blood, sweat, and tears. And so I think that what LPT does, and Daniel and Heidi, correct me if I'm wrong, because they provide these tools, they want to get quality agents that are actually selling, and then they allow us to work with our lenders and our vendors, such as Heidi, to sell real estate, to get listings, to close buyers, to work with investors. I mean, how do you feel about that?
No, at the end of the day, you gotta sell homes. Like that's the way that you're gonna make
bread
revenue.
and butter.
Yeah, if you don't sell homes, you're in the wrong business.
Yeah,
So I tell my team, focus on selling homes. I don't want recruiters. I don't focus on selling homes. People are gonna be attracted to you by you having success.
And Heidi, it probably makes your job easier too. Working like a team like with Daniel Perez's teams, that the agents are getting the right training.
Right. Yes. It's very, I don't think the average consumer understands how important their realtor is. And I don't think there's a full understanding, just because you pass the real estate test doesn't mean that you are competent,
you're qualified.
That you're qualified. And a lot of people think just because you work for this company, that means that they vetted you, or that you're a high quality realtor. So, so it's super important to work with a realtor who has the support, if they don't have the experience, has that backup, of the company and the team to help them, and somebody you can trust. I mean, it's a big transaction. I tell people it's the biggest transaction you're probably ever going to make. So choose your realtor wisely, choose your lender wisely, because 100% it makes a big difference.
I think that the coolest thing too just is the length of you guys' partnership, and just like how long you've been working together. Because when you work together with people for a long time, just like when you look up reviews and you look up like how long someone's been in business, and you see 19 plus years or 20 plus years, and you see all these transactions close, like you guys have not only done this separately, but you've done it together that long.
Yeah. Well, and we haven't ever really had a time where we, again, there's been stressful moments, of course. There's situations where things come up we didn't expect, either a situation about the buyer that wasn't disclosed to us, or something with the house that needed to be worked through, but at the end of the day, like I don't think we've ever had a disagreement.
Well, everyone wants to know, Heidi, how they can get a hold of you, though.
Oh, okay, sure. So go to my website, awesomehomeloans.com, or call my cell phone, 813-363-5953.
And Daniel?
813-412-9464, or go to my website, bestrealtorintampa.com.
Every time Daniel says that, he looks at me. It's so cute. Thank you guys so much for listening. We will see you after the break. Do not forget to download that iHeartRadio app. Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. We are sponsored by LPT friends and fam listening. LPT Realty is going to be, for sure, the #1 real estate brokerage. And this is Betsy Tinervin, your host. We are so excited that we have Daniel Perez here and his trusted lender, Heidi Lombardi. I've done so well all day with that name. If you have not listened to segments 1 through 3, I think it's critical because Heidi talks about how important it is to choose your realtor. I've asked Daniel some critical questions about how he runs his team, how he trains his agents. And these are two elite people in the Tampa Bay industry who have built out a partnership over the last 7 years. And they truly work well together and are customer first. Heidi's learned quite a bit about LPT as Daniel has just joined that brokerage and made a career switch. Yes. The cool thing that I think, Daniel, I want you to speak about, because listeners hear me every other week, is just how we do have kind of like a family thing. Like if you're with LPT, I think that this is the first brokerage that I've been with that I have really got the family vibe. Yeah. Like, I feel like when we were both like with EXP and when we were with other people, it was like, cool, you look on the MLS, yeah, you're with the same broker. But now it's like, dude, you're LPT, yes!
Right?
Go! We are savages, we're the best!
It's a small company. It just was born like 6 months ago here in Orlando, and it's a small fraternity right now, and it's kind of
Wait, what about a sorority, Heidi? He said a fraternity. Guys only club, Daniel?
We just met, the day of the
launch, August 8th.
August 8th, and we're super cool, and I love Betsy, and that's the cool thing about joining a company and a team. Like my team, the coolest thing about my team is that it's like a family. We hang out, outside the office. We just took the team. We had boat date last Wednesday, so I just rented 5 boats, and we took the team on the boat.
Yeah,
all day.
Yeah.
So we like doing stuff like that. It can't just be all work. You gotta have a little fun too.
For sure.
So we try to bring that to the table too.
I know. I was really excited when Ellie Lambert and Vince Curie contacted me about LPT, because at the end of the day, they've had that environment, and I know that you've had that environment within your team.
Yes.
But then you have these out-of-state people that you have to deal with in this massive company. So I think there's an advantage of getting in now with LPT, right, Daniel?
It's ground floor opportunity. It's kind of being at the beginning of EXP. So to me, when I saw the opportunity, I had to do it. It makes too much, and a lot of people don't understand the vision and don't understand what really the opportunity is, but the company's not even public yet.
Exactly.
You can get in when the company's not even public. The company, it just started in Florida. It's about to expand nationwide.
No, we're in like, I think 6 or 7 states now, and
already?
Puerto Rico.
They already open?
Yes.
Oh, I gotta start recruiting in those states. So
yeah.
We're just getting started. We're just about to start expanding nationally. The opportunity is right now.
For sure. And I think too, Heidi, I think it's really amazing that Robert Palmer has allowed all these different agents to stay within their ecosystem, because for you and Daniel, you spent all these years building out and perfecting this system to work together.
Yes.
Realtor and lender. How awesome is it that LPT allows any vendor to come in and still work with their teams or their single agents?
Yeah. I think that's one of the benefits of being in an environment like LPT, is that you have the ability to, make your team and the culture, the way that you want it, but also with the support of a company, a bigger company behind you, and somebody like Robert Palmer, who is an extraordinary businessman and a visionary. I mean, I have a lot of respect for Robert Palmer and all he's done in our industry, both on the lending side and now with the realtors. So, so I think that that's a huge opportunity. And if you believe in the person who's captaining your ship, it's a lot easier to
leadership
to be successful.
Everything trickles from the top down.
Yeah,
for sure. And I think it's good that you said, Daniel, that people don't understand.
They don't.
Because I think that, Heidi, to play off of what you just said, Robert built out an amazing brokerage during the first crash and was successful, took the company public, did all this great stuff. Then he created Listing Power Tools.
Right.
And LPT, everyone always asks where her name is from, was birthed from Listing Power Tools. So when people say, okay, you're a new company, this man's already done this twice.
Yeah.
And came out of retirement to do this.
Yeah.
So like if anyone's interested in LPT, Daniel, especially the bilingual speaking realtors in Florida, which is critical when doing real estate transactions, how do they get a hold of you?
They can give me a call, 813-412-9464. They're welcome to stop by my office, 6735 Causeway Boulevard in Tampa, or search for me online, Daniel Perez, on Instagram and Facebook. But I'm here to help. It don't matter if you're with LPT or another company. If you need help and you're struggling, give me a call. I'll give you some advice.
And I think, Heidi, that the only thing about the people that speak Spanish is it's fast, right? So Daniel, say the number slow.
Okay.
How can they contact you?
You want me to say it in Spanish?
Yes, I don't know. I do. Seriously.
813-412-9464. 813-412-9464. Daniel Perez. You can reach me there.
That's amazing. And I think too, Heidi, from your end, I know, let's not dive too deep, but let's tap into like all the rumors that like now's not a good time to buy.
Okay, sure. So I'll speak to that. So obviously, you know, we've been in an environment where the rates have ticked up a little bit. While the rates were at a lower point, however, we were in a period of extreme acceleration in terms of market value. So we were seeing rapid appreciation. So while the rates were a little bit lower or significantly lower last year, the prices of the homes had gone up quite a bit to account for that affordability factor. So what we're seeing now is a little bit more stabilization in the market. Rates are stabilizing. They're still relatively low. And I think that for people who maybe were, you know, had a bad experience last year or frustrating experience last year, now's a great time to come around and try to find that house. The inventory is up and there's opportunities to buy things. So, you know, in addition to looking at the price of a home and the rate, you have to look at what your monthly payment is. So when people are faced with rising rents, you know, they have to make a choice. Do I keep paying this higher rate of rent and paying somebody else's mortgage, or do I go ahead and buy a house and lock into a payment that I know I can afford indefinitely? And the only benefit, all you have is upside. If you go into a fixed rate mortgage at 4.875% today and rates drop to 3% next year, guess what? Your housing payment just went down when you refinance. With a rent, you know, I hear stories all the time. My rent went up $300. My rent went up $500. I can't find a place to live. I can't find a place that's nice enough for my family. You know, and these are things I hear all the time.
Yeah, it's not secure.
Yeah.
Your mortgage payment just isn't going to increase in 60 days, you
right.
know, but
exactly.
your rent can.
Well, or your landlord could decide to sell the house.
For sure.
You know, and then now all of a sudden you don't have a place to live and your kids don't have a school to go to. And, you know, it's very traumatic. And homeownership, I friend a lot of my buyers on Facebook, and I've seen how homeownership literally changes their lives. Like, I mean, not to sound cheesy, but like it just changes their whole attitude.
Sure.
You know, they're so proud of their accomplishment, and it gives them a new renewed focus and purpose and starts building their financial wealth. I think it's something like 75% of equity in our country is tied up in people's equity in their homes. So if you don't own a home, you're missing out on a significant wealth opportunity.
For sure.
It's
100%.
the best investment they can make.
Yeah.
Real estate is a sexy asset.
Yes.
Man. It really is.
Well, so people who are thinking short term, who are like, oh, well, what if if you're buying a house to live in and you live in that home, I don't care what time in history you're looking at, it over time proves to be a great investment and a wealth building investment.
Well, I have had an amazing time with you guys. I want to give a shout out to all Daniel Perez's team leads.
Yes.
All
the
his
whole
team. The Tampa Bay team. Give a shout out. Daniel's been in here representing for your team.
Yes.
and an awesome time with you, Miss Heidi, today. I know that Daniel and I have talked about trainings and upcoming things. So you have something up and coming, Daniel.
We have an event coming up. Hot off the press. I just booked the event. The venue this morning is going to be at Whiskey Cake in International Plaza.
Perfect.
We're going to bring Tony Robbins' coach. His name is Scott Gass, and he's going to do a training for realtors about mindset. So if you're struggling in real estate, and sometimes it's just the way you think. Sometimes all you gotta do is change your mindset.
For sure.
You know?
If they want to know more about this event, Daniel, what is your cell phone number?
My cell phone number is 813-412-9464. It's very limited. The space, we're only going to have like 50 tickets. So if you want to be in this event.
I want a VIP ticket.
You got it.
Okay.
It's going to be September 2nd, 10 o'clock, 10 to 12 at Whiskey Cake in International Plaza. Call me, text me.
Find you on Facebook.
Find me on Facebook.
Perfect.
Send me a friend request.
I appreciate you guys so much. And everyone out there, if you need to connect with Daniel or Heidi, find Daniel Perez on Facebook. Do not forget to download the iHeartRadio app, and we will see you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast, powered by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined. We hope this episode motivated and inspired you. And don't forget to rate and review us. Thanks again for listening to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast with Betsy Tinnervin.